I love trash. Anything dirty.
Hey, what's up, super nerds? 2020 is coming to an end, and it's time to talk about the worst thing that happened all year. Crappy ass Funko Pops that shouldn't have been made. I'm gonna go through the top 10 worst pops of 2020 and end it with the worst series. But before we get into that, let's talk about the worst chases that Funko released this year. And remember, this is just my opinion. You may love some of these pops. I don't know why, but that's you. And this is me.
I love it because it's trash.
The Speed Racer Nightmare Chase. On first glance, it actually seems like a good chase, right? It's a completely different head sculpt. Looks like a different character. What bugs me about this one is that Funko was so close to making an awesome chase, but they decided to just leave his arms flesh color when they should be blue. And I looked at the original animation, and they're blue in the animation. Not sure if it was an oversight, like where no one along the whole design process noticed that. I find that hard to believe. Or maybe it was just a way to save some money. I don't know. I just hate when they cheap out like that because that's all I focus on now is that his arm is the wrong color. I think many of you have this as the worst chase of the year, the unicorn from Onward, and it's pretty bad. The only thing they changed was the color of the horn, and they added a little bit of glitter. That's why I didn't make it number one, because at least it's different color and there's a little bit of glitter, because the common appears to be just painted this lavender color. Still, that's super weak, and if the box didn't have a sticker on it, a chase sticker, then I think many people wouldn't even notice it's different. And just barely edging out the unicorn is Branch from Trolls. All they did with this chase was make him frown instead of smile. You can barely notice it. Again, if it didn't have a chase sticker on there, I doubt people would even notice there's one that's different. It's kind of an ugly design to begin with. The only reason this isn't the worst chase of all time is that at least the mouth is sculpted. Because there's been another chase that's similar to this. I think it was the Weaponized Rick, where they just changed the mouth slightly. But that was a decal, so that makes it even worse. But this is definitely one of the worst chases of all time. Now, before starting the countdown, let's take a look at some dishonorable mentions.
I love it because it's trash.
First up, it's Chip here from Beauty and the Beast, and the sculpt is okay. You can tell it's Chip. I don't like that they decided to put a seam on his handle, which is like his nose. It's really noticeable in some pictures. But what I can't get over with this pop is that it looks like someone got a teacup and then made diarrhea in it. The glam here tries their best to make it look like tea. There's a picture that a lot of sites are using where you can just tell there's like 10 spotlights on this thing to try to lighten the color up of those bubbles. But when you look at the actual pop, and it's hard to find a picture of the actual pop online because there's not a lot of people showing off their diarrhea cups. But it looks dark on the pop. It looks like an overflowing toilet. I mean, even the way Chip's face looks, it looks like, oh wow, look, I'm full of shitty water. It stinks. This is just a shitty pop. 10-inch zombie thing. Pretty cool, right? What bugs me about this one is if you look at his clenched hand, the orange one, it's got 4 fingers on it. If you look at the zombie hand, I guess his skeleton, it's got 5 fingers on it. That doesn't make sense, right? And then we got Venomized Thanos, looking like he stole his costume from some modest lady at a 1940s swimming pool. And it looks like he's splashing water with his hand. And finally, I want to mention Wade Wilson, Deadpool, from X-Men Origins Wolverine, one of the worst movies ever made. Ever. I mean, yeah, go ahead, make a meme pop that's funny. Some people will like this. I think it's just a big waste. And what makes it even worse is that, like, the body color doesn't even match the head. They look like they're made out of completely different colors of plastic. There's a reason this was slapped with a con sticker. This would have been a gigantic shelf warmer. And actually, I'm not even sure how well these sold. But to me, it's ugly, it's a stupid character, and it's not even done right. Now on to the worstest, starting with number 10.
I love it because it's trash.
Mr. Toad. It's not a bad pop. I really like the design of it, actually. I like the retro design on the 65th anniversary box. I like that they gave him the eyes when he's like mesmerized. I haven't seen the cartoon in a long time, but I do specifically remember those eyes. It's a great pop. What I hate about it is that Funko already put out a Mr. Toad, and he was a very hard to get, limited to 1,500 pieces, a total grail, one of the hardest ones to get in the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con. If you were lucky enough to get it, you now had a $500 pop on your hands. So what does Funko do? They go and release a better version of him. Make the value drop. And yeah, honestly, I think I like the new version better. I like the eyes better, and I like the box. And it's also not $200, because that's what this other one costs, which is really low for 1,500 piece Funko Pop. For example, look at Louis Blue from the Otter Pops at 3,000 pieces, double the amount of pieces, and it goes for double and triple the price. If Funko released another Blue Otter Pop, like say metallic, it would definitely make the price of this one go down as well. I hate when they make super low runs of certain big characters, or like this Otter Pop that completes a set. But Mr. Toad doesn't really complete the set, and he is kind of obscure. I'm pretty sure a lot of people could live without Mr. Toad, but it's just a very annoying thing that Funko does from a collecting standpoint.
I love it because it's trash.
This is supposed to be Shaquille O'Neal. Does that look like Shaquille O'Neal to you? Does that look like how Shaquille dribbles? Does that look like a big man? That looks more like Anthony Hardaway, his teammate. I mean, look at him. And then look at Shaq. The Shaq Pop looks like Anthony Hardaway. It would have been really cool if they would have made Shaq in a different pose. I hate how Funko just has 2 or 3 body sculpts for all of the sports pops. It's really lame. I mean, look at this custom. Or I'm not sure if this guy even made this and this is just 3D art. But look at this Shaq Pop. That looks just like Shaq. Even if that didn't say Lakers and 34 on it, I would go, yeah, that looks like Shaq. This other one, if you took off 32 and Magic off of there, I would not guess that's Shaq.
I love it because it's trash.
The Breast Cancer Awareness Classic Joker. Put your pitchforks down. I don't hate breast cancer awareness. I think it's a great cause, but this is not a great pop. All the other breast cancer awareness pops are pink, white, flesh color, black. They all look cool together. They're a nice set. Here's a picture of all of them. Which one stands out because it has bright green hair and yellow and red in the eyes? None of the other pops have those colors. They should have just gave him like dark pink hair or black or just not make it because it looks horrible. They just took the regular head and put it on a pink body. It's lazy, and that's probably why it was also part of a con. And what makes it even dumber is that they already put out a pink Joker on Valentine's Day, and that one was ugly too. Because like this one, it has green hair for some reason when the rest of it's pink and white. And I know the Joker's hair is green, I'm not stupid, but it just looks ugly. Green and pink, it's not a good combination.
I love it because it's trash.
The Amazon exclusive Chrome Mandalorian. First of all, it's pretty annoying for people to get the common one in the mail, like a couple of days before this one was announced. So it's like, oh, got you suckers, got you with the common. But that's alright, you know, if you're gonna collect Funko Pops, you better be used to that. But when this first was showed off, it wasn't called the Chrome Helmet Mandalorian. It was called the Chrome Armor Mandalorian. And when we first saw it, the armor was chrome. And it was on a box with an Amazon sticker. So you assume, you know, you're gonna order from Amazon, you're gonna get this really cool version of the Mandalorian in chrome. It's a great idea. But then you get it in the mail, and only the helmet is chrome. And then you see that some people did get a full chrome one. So you start to feel like you got screwed. And if you already bought the common, you feel like you got screwed twice. And they're making way too many Mandalorians to begin with. I've lost count how many damn Mandalorians they've made. And honestly, this is probably one of the more boring poses. But it was supposed to be chrome. And yeah, it's still cooler than the common because the helmet's chrome. But
we didn't kill anybody. Nobody got hurt. We made a mistake. We'll get past it.
I mean, granted, nobody died, but we did flat out lie to the public about what we're giving them. I mean, that's fraud. Like, and that's not okay, like, as a company operates.
That's not fraud. That's not fraud. That is, I would call that false advertising.
it feels like not false advertising. It just feels like they dropped the ball on the production end of it. And collectors just didn't get the pop they were promised. This is just not the way.
I love it because it's trash.
Can someone show me in the movie where the Velociraptor is bright neon green with translucent hands and feet? I've seen Jurassic Park, I feel like, a dozen times, but it's been a while, I'll admit. But when is the Velociraptor neon green? When I was doing research to try to find out when, maybe it was from a movie I didn't see, I don't know. But it's called The Clever Girl Velociraptor. So it's from the first movie, and I'm guessing it's from the scene where she kills that trainer guy. But those Velociraptors are brown.
Clever girl.
So I don't know what this is. I mean, are they trying to say like, oh, she's sneaky? So she's kind of like translucent, like a predator. Like she's got cloaking powers now. What is this? Doesn't make any sense.
I love it because it's trash.
And up next, it's everybody's favorite droid, CB6B.
Who?
When I first saw this pop, I didn't know if it was from a movie or a cartoon or a video game or what. I couldn't even find a screenshot of this guy online. I must have looked for an hour and I could not find one image of where this droid is from. I guess he was Poe's flight droid for a little bit while BB-8 was gone, but if it was in the movie, I missed it because they made this guy orange too for some reason. And I know there's a tradition to make every single character that had like 1 second screen time or a one-word line, but that's from the original trilogy. Those have been around for 40 years. They've been watched so many times that every single character in those is known by somebody. They have a backstory. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense to do that from new movies. Wait 40 years and then make this piece of shit.
I love it because it's trash.
And look at beautiful Farrah Fawcett. May she rest in peace. An icon. To this day, you see beautiful feathered hair, and people still call it Farrah Fawcett hair. She was legendary. And did I say beautiful? So Funko made a pop. And oh my god. That's terrifying. I'm pretty sure this is based on this picture here, where she's smiling really big. But the pop looks nothing like this. Here's another picture from the same shoot. Her mouth is a little bit more closed. And she's definitely not wearing bright red lipstick. I don't know why Funko did Farrah Fawcett this way. She looks hideous. And her hair doesn't even look like Farrah Fawcett's hair. It just kind of looks like a short blonde haircut. It definitely doesn't look as feathered as it should look. What she's known for. And yes, in this other picture, her hair isn't exactly feathered. It's big curls. Big dirty blonde curls. This is just yellow hair. I wouldn't be able to tell this is Farrah Fawcett out of the box. I really wouldn't. It just looks like some generic Baywatch lifeguard. They definitely should have taken a little bit more time with that hair. Maybe the whole concept is wrong. They should have gone with a picture of Farrah Fawcett that has her more iconic feathered hairstyle and did her a little justice. This is horrible.
I love it because it's trash.
This is pretty simple. Marty McFly in his future outfit. Super boring stance, but what's awful about this one is the hat. They just made it metallic silver, which is not accurate to the movie. It looks like they forgot to finish painting this pop. But no worries, Funko is ready to double dip your ass by making an exclusive Marty McFly in a future outfit. This time with a really cool looking, really well done, movie accurate hat. So if you're a big fan and you went out and bought that first Marty McFly anyway, now you get to buy another one and throw that other one in the trash because you're not going to be able to sell it because who would want that? Just a really shameful business practice.
Because it's trash.
This common Stretch Armstrong is a Funko Pop that shouldn't exist. The only one that should exist is the Chase figure with the stretched out arms. Because that's what this toy does. The original Stretch Armstrong stretched. So why would they make a pop where the arms aren't stretched? So that outside of the box, it doesn't even look like what it's supposed to look like. To be honest, when I first saw the glams for this, I thought they were making another Fallout Vault Boy. Because that's what it looks like. It's even wearing little blue trunks. They probably gave this pop a chase to try to sell more, to get dummies to buy 6 at a time to try to get a worthless chase. It's really lame. The chase should have just been the common.
I love because it's trash.
And for the first time in 5 years, we have a 5-way tie for number 1. And that is these pops that Funko is pretending are ad icons, but they should just be called products. This is Funko products. These aren't ad icons. This is a can of Spam and a bottle cap and a can and a packet and a bag of donuts. Honestly, these look like, I thought these were going to be not even mystery minis. I thought these were going to be like Funko venturing into more, vending machine stuff, like 50-cent vending machine toys that are really small. But these are full-size pops that they're trying to pretend are ad icons. And I feel like they put them in the ad icons line to try to sell more because people love that line. But these right here are ugly. They're uncreative. They look like something that if you buy a lot of Coke, you should be able to collect points and like mail it to them, and they'll send you this piece of advertising for your house. I really hate these pops, and I hope nobody buys them so they don't make stuff like this anymore. And yeah, technically these don't come out until January, but they were announced so long ago that these feel like 2020 pops. If they were going to be released like in, July, well then of course I wouldn't put them on this list. They're just that bad. I can't wait a whole year to complain about how stupid these pops are.
I love it because it's trash.
And now we come to the worst series of 2020. And for me, it came down to 2. And both of them are just regular Funko Pops in over-elaborate packaging. The runner-up is the Funko Pop albums. At first, you're like, oh, cool, more music pops. But what Funko did was just put a regular Funko Pop in a bigger, bulkier box that's shrink-wrapped. You don't actually get an album. You don't get a CD. You don't even get a 45. It's just a picture of the album in a bigger Funko Pop box with a Funko Pop in it, and that's it. And it's a little bit more expensive. What would have been way cooler is just put the same pop in a regular pop box and make the background look kind of like the album. I would have bought that because I kind of like some of these pops, but I don't want a big, huge box. And most people don't take them out of the box, especially these ones because the album is part of it. And I saw a lot of pictures, especially of the Notorious B.I.G. one from the Ready to Die album, where the baby isn't even sitting up straight in the box. So you have to open up your collectible, take the shrink wrap off, and try to fix it, which now devalues your collectible. And let's stay on this Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die album. How much better would it have been that instead of just putting the baby on the side like that, if they would have had the baby floating over where the actual baby on the album is, and then just don't have the baby on the album. So you have the artwork on the bottom, the Ready to Die artwork, and then you just see the baby floating there like it's like 3D, Same thing with the Black Sabbath one and the Linkin Park one. It would have just looked so much better if they would have executed it with having the pop where the actual character or artist is on the album. Just more creativity than, we'll just put the pop from the picture on the right hand side here on a black base, and then just put the picture of the album in the background. This could have been done so much better, and would have definitely justified a bigger box if they would have been more creative with it. All in all, it's not a bad idea. The pops inside of these boxes aren't bad, they're pretty good. It's just the execution of the concept I just don't like, and I think it's disappointing because I know it could have been greater. I'm so glad I asked you guys what you felt was the worst pop of the year, because a lot of you guys mentioned the street art collection, and I have to agree with you. At first I was like, am I just out of touch here? Does everybody like these but me? And I don't even dislike them because, as some of you guys pointed out, you can't even tell who is who here. I mean, I guess I can kind of tell that's Captain America because it's red, white, and blue. But Miles Morales, I would never guess. Or Daredevil. Or any of them, really. Like, if I was standing a few feet away, I'd be like, what is that? Just looks like a blob of shit on a wall. But when I first saw these, the actual reason I didn't like them is because look at them. Do they not look like what some middle-aged CEO in a board meeting would think is street art? Like, I could see the people that created these, like the designers, walking up with their presentation, right? And it's like 2 of them. And one of them starts talking about, look, this is our concept, the street art concept. And then the other presenter hits play on a boombox, and the cheesiest, like 1980s beat comes through while the other guy's explaining why this is so street and urban and cool and funky fresh. And then the other presenter is just going like, yeah, boy. That's how corny this is. I would be embarrassed to have this in my house. And I have some pretty embarrassing stuff in my house. Alright, mother Funkos. That was the worst Funko Pops of 2020. Now it's your turn to let me know what an idiot I am in the comments below. What you think I left off this list, where you think I was unfair and maybe this shouldn't have been on the list, or anything else you'd like to say. I'm also going to do a best of 2020 for all of you ready to type out, if you hate Funko Pops so much, why do you collect them? I don't hate Funko Pops. I actually like them quite a bit, so I look at them with a critical eye. Alright, thanks for watching and take it easy.